Welcome, listener, to Money Honey, a simple 7-step guide for getting your financial dollar hit together by Rachel Richards offers practical advice for managing personal finances, reducing debt, and building wealth. The book is designed to simplify complex financial topics and give readers actionable steps to improve their financial situation. The heart of Money Honey is the 7-step plan brought to life through Amber, a 27-year-old cybersecurity architect. Here's how it works. 1. Know your current story. 1 hour, compile your income, expenses, assets, and liabilities to calculate your golden number and net worth. Amber's golden number is $390, and her net worth is negative $49,274 due to $47,000 in student loans, $12,000 in credit card debt, and a $5,000 car loan. 2. Brainstorm your financial goals. 20 minutes, list savings goals for buckets #1-4 and debt payoff. Amber aims for $1,000 in bucket number 1, $11,574 in bucket number 2, 4.5 months expenses, $90,000 in bucket number 3, car, house, wedding, and ongoing retirement savings. 3. Grow your golden number. 45 minutes, increase income. Amber adds $364 via Airbnb and tutoring. And cut expenses. She reduces spending by $538, boosting her golden number to $1,292. 4. Fill up bucket number 1. 1 to 3 months, Amber saves $500 to reach $1,000 for emergencies. 5. Determine your minimum contribution to bucket number 4. 10 minutes, Amber contributes $150 monthly to her 401k to get the employer match. 6. Prioritize and achieve your goals. Varies. Amber allocates $150 to bucket number 4, $125 to bucket number 2, and $1,017 to her 20% credit card debt, paying it off in a year. 7. Complete an annual review. 2 hours per year, Amber reassesses her budget, goals, and net worth, which improves by $15,540 in 1 year. Here are 10 key lessons from the book. 1. Understand the importance of financial literacy. Financial literacy is the foundation of making informed money decisions. The more you know about budgeting, saving, investing, and managing debt, the better you can take control of your financial future. Picture this. You're 25, fresh out of college, with a shiny new job and a paycheck that feels like a ticket to freedom. But then reality hits. Bills, student loans, and that sneaky credit card balance you racked up during late-night pizza runs. Suddenly, you're wondering how you're supposed to save for a house, retirement, or even a weekend getaway when you're barely making it to the next paycheck. This is where financial literacy swoops in like a superhero, and Rachel Richards' Money Honey, a simple 7-step guide for getting your financial dollar hit together, makes it crystal clear why understanding money is the key to unlocking your dreams. Financial literacy is about knowing how to manage your money like a boss, budgeting, saving, paying off debt, and investing wisely. Richards hammers home that the education system fails us here. While we're busy learning about parallelograms, no one teaches us how to file taxes or avoid credit card traps. As she puts it, I lolled at a meme that said, "I'm so glad I learned about parallelograms instead of how to do taxes. It's really come in handy this parallelogram season." The truth stings. Without financial literacy, we're left floundering in a world where money decisions are constant and high stakes. Why does this matter? Because ignorance isn't bliss, it's a one-way ticket to financial stress. Richards shares that most people, from high schoolers to successful lawyers, feel lost with money because there's no formal education to guide them. Without knowing how to budget, you might spend your entire paycheck without saving a dime. Without understanding debt, you could max out credit cards, racking up thousands in interest. Richards herself dodged this trap by learning early. Her obsession with finance began at 11, reading the Motley Fool investment guide for teens at a water park. That knowledge helped her graduate college debt-free, a feat she accomplished by selling $30,000 worth of Cutco knives and securing scholarships. Her story shows what's possible when you're financially literate. Let's look at Amber, a 27-year-old cybersecurity architect from Money Honey. Amber was drowning in $47,000 of student loans, $12,000 in credit card debt, and a $5,000 car loan, with a negative net worth of $49,274. She had no clue where her money was going until she applied Richard's advice to track her spending using Mint. By creating a budget, Amber discovered her golden number. The money left after expenses was a measly $390. Financial literacy gave her the tools to boost that number to $1,292 by cutting expenses like eating out and adding income through tutoring and Airbnb. Within a year, she paid off her credit card debt and increased her net worth by $15,540. That's the power of knowing your financial dollar hit. Or consider the broader picture. Richard cites that 19% of Americans have zero emergency savings, and one-third have nothing saved for retirement. Without financial literacy, you might not know to prioritize an emergency fund, bucket number 1 in Richard's plan, or start a 401k early to leverage compound interest. For example, $10,000 invested at 5% can grow to $44,816 in 30 years, but only if you understand how to use high-yield savings accounts or index funds. Financial literacy turns these abstract concepts into actionable steps. It's not just about numbers, it's about freedom. Richards emphasizes that financial literacy lets you live without the constant stress of an overdrawn account or the fear of a financial emergency. It's about saying yes to a trip to Mexico or a down payment on a house because you've planned for it. It's about retiring comfortably instead of working at 70. Richards' own journey, from a kid terrified of student debt to a debt-free graduate and financial advisor, proves that knowledge is power. Whether it's Amber paying off debt or you avoiding a $20% credit card trap, financial literacy is your roadmap to a life where money works for you, not against you. So, take Richard's advice. Grab a pen, start tracking your spending, and commit to learning. Your future self is already cheering. 2. Track your expenses. To get your finances in order, start by tracking every dollar you spend. Knowing where your money goes allows you to identify areas where you can cut back, save more, and better allocate your resources. Imagine opening your bank account and feeling a pit in your stomach because you have no idea where your money went. That $50 lunch here, $10 coffee there, and those sneaky subscription charges, they add up, and without a clear picture, you're financially adrift. In Money Honey, a simple 7-step guide for getting your financial dollar hit together, Rachel Richards declares that tracking your expenses is the first step to taking control of your money. It's not glamorous, but it's the foundation of her badass budgeting strategy. We'll dive into why tracking expenses is a game changer, how to do it, and real-world examples from the book that show its transformative power. So, grab a pen or your phone, and let's get your financial house in order. Richards kicks off with a wake-up call. 2/3 of Americans don't budget, according to a 2013 Gallup survey she cites. That's like driving blindfolded and hoping you don't crash. Tracking expenses is about shining a light on every dollar you spend, so you can see exactly where it's going and, more importantly, where it should go. Richard's approach is simple but non-negotiable. Write down your after-tax monthly income. List every single expense: rent, utilities, groceries, Netflix, even that monthly manicure, and subtract to find your golden number, the money left over. This number is your ticket to saving, investing, and crushing debt, but you can't find it without tracking. The process starts with a brainstorming session. Richards suggests grabbing a beer or a Capri Sun if you're under 21, a pen and paper, and jotting down every expense category: rent, utilities, insurance, transportation, food, entertainment, subscriptions, gifts, and a buffer for miscellaneous costs. If you don't know exact amounts, estimate for now, but commit to tracking every penny for a month to get accurate data. Why a month? Because one-off estimates often miss the mark. Richards points out that most people underestimate food costs or forget recurring expenses like holiday gifts. She recommends using Mint, a free app that syncs with your accounts to track spending automatically, making it easier to see patterns and pinpoint where you're overspending. Let's look at Amber, the 27-year-old cybersecurity architect from Money Honey. Amber was struggling with $47,000 in student loans, $12,000 in credit card debt, and a $5,000 car loan, living paycheck to paycheck. When she started tracking her expenses with Mint, she was shocked to see her monthly breakdown: $750 for rent, $580 for groceries and eating out, $200 for shopping, and $130 for personal grooming, totaling $3,110 against her $3,500 income. Her golden number was a measly $390, barely enough to make a dent in her debt. By tracking, Amber identified culprits like frequent happy hours and unnecessary subscriptions. She cut eating out to $400, reduced shopping to $30, and negotiated lower bills, slashing her expenses by $538. This boosted her golden number to $1,292, giving her the power to pay off her credit card debt in a year. Tracking was her wake-up call, turning chaos into clarity. Richards also shares her own example. When renting a room to save money, she used Mint to track her spending, revealing how small expenses, like $10 daily lunches, added up to $200 a month. By cooking more, she redirected that money to savings. She emphasizes that tracking isn't a one-time thing, it's a habit. Those $5 daily coffees? That's $2,000 a year. That $30 gym membership you never use? That's $360 wasted. Tracking exposes these leaks, letting you plug them and grow your golden number. Why does this matter? Because without tracking, you're guessing, and guessing leads to overspending, debt, and missed opportunities. Richard's tough love advice. If you don't know how much extra money you have after expenses, how can you accomplish any financial goals? Tracking empowers you to make informed choices, whether it's cutting back on takeout to fund your emergency savings or skipping a night out to pay down debt. It's about taking control, not deprivation. By committing to track for a month, you'll uncover your spending habits, set a realistic budget, and start building the life you want. As Richard says, you can't afford to put this off. So, download Mint, start logging, and watch your golden number grow. You've got this. 3. Create a budget. A well-organized budget is essential for staying on top of your finances. By categorizing your income and expenses, you can prioritize savings and ensure you're not overspending. You've tracked your expenses, faced the truth about those $5 lattes, and now you're ready to take charge of your money like a financial rockstar. In Money Honey, a simple 7-step guide for getting your financial dollar hit together, Rachel Richards declares that creating a budget is the ultimate power move to transform your financial life. It's not about deprivation. It's about making your money work for your dreams, whether that's paying off debt, saving for a house, or funding a trip to Bali. We'll explore why budgeting is your secret weapon, how to craft one that sticks, and real-world examples from Money Honey that prove it's a game changer. So, let's channel your inner Money Honey and build that budget. Richard starts with a reality check. Budgeting isn't sexy, but it's non-negotiable. A 2013 Gallup survey she cites reveals that 2/3 of Americans don't budget, which is like trying to lose weight without tracking calories. You're just guessing. A budget is a plan that tells your money where to go, ensuring every dollar aligns with your goals. Richard's method is straightforward. Take your after-tax monthly income, subtract all your expenses, track diligently from the last step, and reveal your golden number, the cash left over for saving, investing, or crushing debt. The goal? Make that golden number as big as possible by boosting income and slashing expenses. Creating a budget begins with your expense list from tracking. Grab a notebook or open a budgeting app like Mint and categorize your spending: rent, utilities, groceries, transportation, entertainment, subscriptions, and a buffer for surprises like birthday gifts. Richard suggests aiming to save at least 10% of your income, but she's blunt. 50% is better, like she managed by living frugally. To grow your golden number, increase income through side hustles, think tutoring or selling on Etsy, and cut expenses by negotiating bills, cooking at home, or ditching and used subscriptions. She loves tools like Mint for real-time tracking, Honey for coupons, and Acorns for investing spare change. The key is to make your budget realistic. Don't swear off dining out if you love it, but cap it at a reasonable amount. Let's revisit Amber, the 27-year-old cybersecurity architect from Money Honey. After tracking her expenses, Amber's initial budget showed $3,500 in monthly income and $3,110 in expenses, $750 for rent, $580 for groceries and dining, $200 for shopping, $130 for grooming, and more, leaving a golden number of just $390. With $47,000 in student loans and $12,000 in credit card debt, that wasn't cutting it. Richard's budgeting advice transformed Amber's approach. She added $364 monthly by tutoring and renting her apartment on Airbnb, then slashed expenses by $538, cutting dining to $400, shopping to $30, and negotiating her cable bill. Her new budget yielded a golden number of $1,292, which she allocated to pay off her 20% interest credit card debt in a year, save $500 for emergencies, and contribute $150 to her 401k. Amber's budget turned her financial chaos into a clear path to freedom. Richard's own story reinforces the power of budgeting. Early in her career, she budgeted ruthlessly, renting a room to keep housing costs low and cooking meals to avoid $200 monthly lunch expenses. This discipline let her save 50% of her income, helping her graduate college debt-free and build wealth. She admits budgeting takes effort, about an hour to set up and 15 minutes weekly to maintain, but the payoff is huge. For example, redirecting $100 a month from unnecessary spending to an index fund could grow to $44,000 in 30 years at 5% interest, thanks to compound interest. Why does budgeting matter? Because it's your roadmap to financial control. Without one, you're at risk of overspending, racking up debt, or missing out on wealth-building opportunities. Richard's tough love pep talk hits home. Budgeting isn't harder than surviving a real crisis, so put on your big girl pants and do it. A budget lets you prioritize what matters, whether it's Amber paying off debt or you saving for a dream vacation, while cutting the fat. Start today. Take your tracked expenses, set limits for each category, and use Mint to stay on track. Review weekly, tweak as needed, and watch your golden number grow. As Richard says, you're not just budgeting, you're building a life you love. 4. Eliminate bad debt. Pay off high-interest debt, such as credit card balances, as quickly as possible. The longer you carry debt, the more interest you'll pay, which can impede your ability to save and invest. Picture yourself staring at a credit card bill that's ballooned to thousands, the interest piling up faster than you can pay it off. It's a gut punch, and it's exactly what Rachel Richards wants you to avoid in Money Honey, a simple 7-step guide for getting your financial dollar hit together. Step 4 of her plan is all about eliminating bad debt, the kind that drags you down and keeps you from building wealth. Richards is blunt. There's no such thing as good debt, only tolerable debt, like a mortgage, and bad debt, like credit cards or car loans. We'll dive into why bad debt is your financial enemy, how to wipe it out, and real-world examples from Money Honey that show how it's done. Let's grab a Capri Sun and start crushing that debt. Richard starts with a stark reality. Americans owe over $999 billion in credit card debt, with average student loan debt at $50,000. Bad debt, she explains, is any debt with high interest rates or tied to depreciating assets, like a 20% credit card balance for clothes or a car loan for a vehicle that loses value. Her rule? Compare the debt's interest rate to the asset's appreciation rate. A 4% mortgage on a house that appreciates at 5% is tolerable. A 15% car loan for a depreciating vehicle is not. Bad debt steals your golden number, the money left after expenses, making it impossible to save or invest. Richard's mission is to help you eliminate it fast. Her strategy is simple but fierce. Prioritize high-interest debt first, using either the debt avalanche method, tackle the highest interest rate first, or the debt snowball method, pay off the smallest balance for quick wins. Richards prefers the avalanche for its math. Paying off a 20% credit card saves more than a 5% student loan. Start by listing all debts, their balances, and interest rates. Pay the minimum on all but the priority debt, then throw every extra dollar from your golden number at it. To supercharge the process, she suggests debt consolidation, combining loans into one with a lower rate, balance transfers to 0% interest cards, or negotiating with creditors for lower rates. Apps like Tally can help manage payments, but the key is discipline. Stop using credit cards while paying them off. Take Amber, the 27-year-old cybersecurity architect from Money Honey. Amber was drowning in $64,000 of debt, $47,000 in student loans at 6%, $12,000 in credit card debt at 20%, and a $5,000 car loan at 7%. Her initial golden number was $390, barely enough to dent her debt. After budgeting, she boosted it to $1,292 by cutting expenses, like $180 monthly on dining, and adding $364 via tutoring and Airbnb. Richards guided Amber to use the debt avalanche, allocating $1,017 of her golden number to the credit card debt while paying minimums on the rest. By focusing on the 20% interest card, she saved hundreds in interest and cleared the $12,000 balance in just over a year. This freed up cash to tackle her car loan next, boosting her net worth by $15,540 in a year. Amber's story shows how targeting bad debt can turn financial despair into progress. Richards' own journey reinforces this. Early on, she avoided bad debt by graduating college debt-free, thanks to scholarships and selling $30,000 in Cutco knives. But she's seen clients trapped by credit card debt, paying thousands in interest for depreciating purchases like electronics. She cites a stat. The average credit card interest rate is 20%, meaning a $5,000 balance could cost $1,000 yearly in interest alone. Eliminating that debt frees up money for savings or investments, like $5,000 growing to $22,000 in 30 years at 5% interest. Why does this matter? Bad debt is a wealth killer, siphoning your income into interest payments instead of your future. Richard's tough love advice. You can't afford to ignore this. It's stealing your dreams. By listing debts, prioritizing high-interest ones, and using your golden number strategically, you can break free. Tools like balance transfers or consolidation loans can help, but the real power is your commitment. Start today. Grab your debt details, pick your highest interest target, and throw everything at it. As Richard says, kick bad debt to the curb, and you're one step closer to financial badassery. 5. Build an emergency fund. Having an emergency fund is crucial for financial security. Set aside 3 to 6 months' worth of living expenses in a liquid savings account to cover unexpected expenses like medical bills or car repairs. Life has a way of throwing curveballs, a flat tire, a sudden medical bill, or a broken fridge that demands a chunk of cash you don't have. Without a safety net, these surprises can derail your financial progress, pushing you into debt or draining your savings. In Money Honey, a simple 7-step guide for getting your financial dollar hit together, Rachel Richards insists that building an emergency fund is non-negotiable. It's your financial parachute. Step 5 of her plan is all about creating this critical buffer to protect your dreams and keep you on track. We'll explore why an emergency fund is your first line of defense, how to build one, and real-world examples from Money Honey that show its power. So, let's grab a Capri Sun and start building that safety net. Richards kicks off with a sobering stat. 19% of Americans have zero emergency savings, and one unexpected expense can spiral into credit card debt or worse. An emergency fund, or what Richards calls bucket number 1 in her savings strategy, is cash set aside for life's unpredictables. Think car repairs, medical emergencies, or job loss. She recommends starting with at least $1,000, kept in an accessible account like a checking or high-yield savings account. Think Ally or Barclays for better interest. This initial $1,000 is your quick access shield, separate from other savings like retirement or vacation funds, which are locked away for long-term goals. Richard's rule: never touch it except for true emergencies, not for impulse buys or concert tickets. Building your emergency fund starts with your budget's golden number, the money left after expenses. If you followed Richard's earlier steps, tracking expenses, budgeting, and tackling bad debt, you've likely freed up cash by cutting costs or boosting income. Allocate a portion of this golden number to bucket number 1 until you hit $1,000. For example, if your golden number is $500, Richards suggests saving half, $250, monthly, reaching $1,000 in 4 months. Once bucket number 1 is funded, you can expand it to cover 3 to 6 months of living expenses, bucket number 2, for bigger emergencies like job loss. High-yield savings accounts are key here, offering 1 to 2% interest compared to 0.01% in regular accounts, letting your money grow while staying accessible. Let's revisit Amber, the 27-year-old cybersecurity architect from Money Honey. Amber was juggling $64,000 in debt, $47,000 in student loans, $12,000 in credit card debt, and a $5,000 car loan, with no emergency savings. Her initial golden number was a measly $390, leaving her vulnerable to financial shocks. After budgeting, she boosted it to $1,292 by cutting $538 in expenses, like dining out and shopping, and adding $364 via tutoring and Airbnb. Richards guided Amber to prioritize $500 of her golden number to build her emergency fund, hitting $1,000 in 2 months. When her car needed $600 in repairs, Amber dipped into this fund instead of swiping her credit card, avoiding 20% interest and staying on track to pay off her $12,000 credit card debt in a year. Her emergency fund was a lifeline, proving its worth early. Richards' own story underscores the importance of this step. By living frugally, renting a room, and cooking meals, she saved aggressively, ensuring her emergency fund was always funded. She shares a client's cautionary tale. Without an emergency fund, a $1,500 medical bill forced them to charge it on a 20% interest credit card, costing $300 yearly in interest alone. In contrast, Richard's $1,000 fund would have covered it, saving stress and money. She emphasizes that even small contributions add up. $50 a month from cutting daily coffees, $5 per day, funds $1,000 in 20 months. Why does this matter? An emergency fund is your financial armor, protecting your budget, debt payoff plan, and long-term goals from life's chaos. Richard's tough love advice. You can't afford to skip this. $1,000 could save you thousands in debt. Start small. Automate transfers to a high-yield savings account, and treat your fund like a sacred vault. Amber's $600 car repair and Richard's client's medical bill show how this fund keeps you in control. Today, check your golden number, commit $50 to $100 monthly to bucket number 1, and open a high-yield account if you haven't already. As Richard says, build that emergency fund, and you're one step closer to financial peace. 6. Start saving and investing early. Time is one of the most powerful tools for building wealth. Start saving and investing as early as possible to take advantage of compound interest and grow your money over time. Imagine you're 25 and someone tells you that saving $100 a month now could turn into tens of thousands by retirement without lifting a finger. Sounds like magic, right? It's not. It's the power of compound interest, and in Money Honey, a simple 7-step guide for getting your financial dollar hit together. Rachel Richards makes it clear that starting to save and invest early is your ticket to financial freedom. Step 6 of her plan is all about harnessing time and consistency to build wealth, whether you're scraping by or raking it in. We'll dive into why starting early is a game changer, how to do it, and real-world examples from Money Honey that show its impact. So, grab a Capri Sun and let's grow that money. Richards starts with a jaw-dropping fact. $10,000 invested at 5% interest can balloon to $44,816 in 30 years, thanks to compound interest, where your earnings generate more earnings. The catch? Time is the secret sauce. Start at 25, and you'll have way more by 55 than if you wait until 35. Yet, she notes, 1/3 of Americans have zero retirement savings, and the average under 35-year-old has just $1,580 saved. Richard's solution is her savings buckets system, with a focus on buckets number 3, long-term savings for goals like a house, and number 4, retirement. The goal: save consistently and invest early to let your money work for you. To start, Richards says to use your golden number, the cash left after expenses, from your budget. After funding your $1,000 emergency fund, bucket number 1, allocate funds to bucket number 4, retirement, and bucket number 3, long-term goals. For retirement, contribute to a 401k to get any employer match. It's free money. Or open an IRA for tax advantages. Even $50 a month counts, as Richard stresses. Start small, but start now. For investing, she champions low-cost index funds, which track the market and average 7% annual returns over time. Open a brokerage account, think Vanguard or Fidelity, buy an index fund like the S&P 500, and hold long-term. Her golden rules: start early, diversify, keep costs low, and stay consistent. Let's look at Amber, the 27-year-old cybersecurity architect from Money Honey. Amber was drowning in $64,000 of debt and had no savings. After budgeting, she boosted her golden number to $1,292 by cutting expenses and adding side hustles. With her $1,000 emergency fund in place, Richards guided her to allocate $150 monthly to her 401k to snag her employer's match, ensuring bucket number 4 grew. She also put $125 toward bucket number 3 for future goals like a house, investing it in a Vanguard index fund. In a year, her $150 monthly 401k contributions totaled $1,800, growing to $1,935 at 7% interest. If she continues, that $150 monthly could hit $150,000 by 65, per Richards' compound interest math. Amber's early start turned her from broke to building wealth. Richards' own story drives the point home. Obsessed with finance since age 11, she started saving early, using Cutco knife sales to fund her education debt-free. By her 20s, she was investing in index funds, letting compound interest work its magic. She contrasts this with a client who delayed saving until 40, needing to save $1,000 monthly to match what $200 monthly at 25 could achieve. Richards' mantra: time is your biggest asset. Even $50 a month in an index fund at 7% could grow to $37,000 in 40 years, but waiting 10 years cuts that to $18,000. Why does this matter? Starting early leverages time, turning small savings into big wealth. Richards' tough love advice: don't wait for a better time. You're robbing your future. Even if you're paying off debt, contribute something to retirement. $50 a month makes a difference. Amber's $150 monthly and Richards' early investments show how consistency pays off. Today, check your golden number. Set up a $50 auto transfer to a 401k or IRA and explore index funds. As Richards says, plant the seed now and watch your money grow into a forest. 7. Understand your investments. Learn about different types of investments, stocks, bonds, real estate, etc., and how they work. Be sure to diversify your investments to reduce risk and increase potential returns over the long term. You've budgeted, crushed bad debt, and started saving. Now it's time to make your money work harder than you do. In Money Honey, a simple 7-step guide for getting your financial dollar hit together, Rachel Richards declares that understanding your investments is the final step to building lasting wealth. Investing isn't gambling or a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a deliberate strategy to grow your money over time. You'll explore why knowing your investments is crucial, how to navigate them like a pro, and real-world examples from Money Honey that bring it to life. So, grab a Capri Sun and let's dive into the world of wealth building. Richards starts with a bold claim. Investing is her favorite topic because it's where your money becomes a superpower. She demystifies the basics. Stocks are ownership in a company. Bonds are loans to governments or corporations. Mutual funds pool money for diversified investments, and index funds track market indices, like the S&P 500 for low fees. Richards champions index funds as the MVP for beginners, especially millennials, due to their low costs and reliable 7% average annual returns. Her 4 golden rules: start early, diversify, keep costs low, and stay consistent. Understanding these options helps you avoid pitfalls like high-fee funds or chasing hot stocks, which Richards compares to trying to time a TikTok trend. To get started, Richards advises opening a brokerage account with platforms like Vanguard or Fidelity, where you can buy index funds. For retirement, bucket number 4, use a 401k or IRA for tax benefits. For long-term goals like a house, bucket number 3, invest in a taxable brokerage account. She emphasizes keeping fees under 0.5%. High fees can eat half your returns over 30 years. Richards also warns against market timing. You're not smarter than the market. Instead, invest regularly, dollar-cost averaging, and hold long-term. Apps like Acorns can automate small investments, but understanding your choices ensures you're not blindly handing over your cash. Let's revisit Amber, the 27-year-old cybersecurity architect from Money Honey. After budgeting, Amber boosted her golden number to $1,292 and started saving $150 monthly to her 401k, bucket number 4, and $125 to a Vanguard index fund for bucket number 3, long-term goals like a house. Richards helped Amber understand her 401k investments, choosing a low-fee S&P 500 index fund over pricier mutual funds. In a year, her $1,800 in 401k contributions grew to $1,935 at 7%, and her $1,500 in bucket number 3 hit $1,605. If Amber continues, Richards calculates her $150 monthly at 7% could grow to $150,000 by 65, tax-advantaged. Amber's clarity about index funds empowered her to invest confidently, avoiding costly mistakes. Richards' own story adds credibility. Obsessed with finance since reading the Motley Fool investment guide for teens at 11, she invested early in index funds, building wealth debt-free. She contrasts this with a client who picked individual stocks, losing 20% in a market dip, while her diversified index funds weathered the storm. Richards cites a stat: $10,000 in an index fund at 7% grows to $76,123 in 30 years, but high-fee funds, 2%, cut that to $54,914. Understanding investments saved her thousands. Why does this matter? Knowing your investments turns your savings into wealth, but ignorance risks losses or missed opportunities. Richard's tough love advice: don't just throw money at a fund. Know what you're buying. Amber's index fund success and Richard's diversified approach show how understanding pays off. Today, review your 401k or open a brokerage account, research low-fee index funds, and start with $50 a month. As Richard says, understand your investments, and you're not just saving, you're building a financial empire. 8. Focus on increasing your income. While cutting expenses is important, increasing your income through side hustles, career advancement, or entrepreneurship can help you reach financial goals faster. You've got your budget locked in, your emergency fund growing, and your investments humming along. But there's one more turbo boost to supercharge your financial journey: making more money. In Money Honey, a simple 7-step guide for getting your financial dollar hit together, Rachel Richards emphasizes that increasing your income is a game changer for growing your golden number, the cash left after expenses. It's not just about cutting costs. Earning more gives you the firepower to crush debt, save aggressively, and build wealth faster. We'll explore why boosting your income is critical, how to do it, and real-world examples from Money Honey that prove it works. So, grab a Capri Sun and let's hustle. Richard starts with a blunt truth. While slashing expenses helps, there's a limit to how much you can cut before you're eating ramen every day. Increasing income, however, has no ceiling. Whether you're a broke student or a seasoned professional, earning more amplifies your golden number, letting you save, invest, or pay off debt without feeling deprived. Richard cites a stat that hits home. 78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, partly because their income barely covers expenses. Her solution? Get creative and proactive. Ask for a raise, start a side hustle, or monetize a skill. Every extra dollar fuels your financial goals. Her approach is practical and action-oriented. First, evaluate your job. If you're underpaid, research market salaries on Glassdoor, build a case with your accomplishments, and request a raise. Richards suggests practicing your pitch to sound confident, not desperate. If a raise isn't possible, consider a side hustle. Think tutoring, freelancing, or driving for Uber. Platforms like Upwork, Etsy, or Airbnb make it easier than ever to earn extra cash. Richards also loves monetizing hobbies, like selling crafts or teaching yoga. The key is to start small, dedicate a few hours weekly, and reinvest the income into your savings buckets or debt payoff. Apps like TaskRabbit or Fiverr can jumpstart your hustle. Let's revisit Amber, the 27-year-old cybersecurity architect from Money Honey. Amber's initial golden number was a measly $390, barely enough to dent her $64,000 in debt, $47,000 student loans, $12,000 credit card, $5,000 car loan. Richards pushed her to think beyond expense cuts. Amber leveraged her tech skills to tutor high school students in coding for $200 a month and listed her spare room on Airbnb for $164 monthly. These side hustles added $364 to her income, boosting her golden number to $1,292 when combined with $538 in expense cuts. That extra cash let her allocate $1,017 monthly to her 20% interest credit card debt, wiping it out in a year, while saving $500 for emergencies and $150 for her 401k. Amber's hustle turned her financial strain into progress. Richard's own story is a masterclass in income boosting. As a teen, she sold $30,000 in Cutco knives, funding her college debt-free. Later, as a financial advisor, she diversified her income with speaking gigs and writing, ensuring her golden number stayed robust. She contrasts this with a client stuck in a low-paying job, too scared to negotiate a raise, who missed out on thousands annually. Richards calculates that an extra $500 monthly, invested at 7%, could grow to $418,000 in 40 years, proof that income boosts compound over time. Why does this matter? Increasing income breaks the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle, giving you breathing room to build wealth without sacrifice. Richard's tough love advice: stop whining about your bills and make more money. Amber's tutoring and Airbnb gigs, and Richard's Cutco hustle show how extra income accelerates goals. Today, research a side hustle on Upwork, list an unused item on eBay, or prep a raise pitch. As Richard says, your income is your power. Crank it up and watch your financial dreams come true. 9. Set clear financial goals. Define what you want to achieve with your money. Whether it's buying a house, retiring early, or traveling the world, setting clear financial goals helps you stay focused and motivated. Imagine waking up each day knowing exactly what you're working toward, whether it's paying off that crushing student loan, buying your first home, or retiring early to sip cocktails on a beach. Without a clear target, your money just slips through your fingers, lost to impulse buys or forgotten subscriptions. In Money Honey, a simple 7-step guide for getting your financial dollar hit together, Rachel Richards insists that setting clear financial goals is the compass that guides every dollar you earn. It's about giving your budget purpose and your hustle direction. We'll dive into why clear goals are your financial North Star, how to set them, and real-world examples from Money Honey that show their transformative power. So, grab a Capri Sun and let's map out your money dreams. Richards kicks off with a reality check. Without specific goals, you're like a ship without a destination, drifting aimlessly. Goals give your golden number, the cash left after expenses, a job, whether it's funding an emergency savings bucket, crushing debt, or investing for retirement. She emphasizes that goals must be smart, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Want to save more? That's too vague. Instead, aim to save $1,000 for an emergency fund in 6 months, or pay off $10,000 in credit card debt in 18 months. Richard's process takes just 20 minutes. Brainstorm what you want in the short term, 1 to 3 years, medium term, 3 to 10 years, and long term, 10+ years. Then tie each goal to her savings buckets. Bucket number 1, emergencies. Number 2, 3 to 6 months expenses. Number 3, long-term goals. And number 4, retirement. To set goals, grab a notebook and list your dreams: a vacation, a wedding, a debt-free life, or early retirement. Assign dollar amounts and deadlines. Say, $5,000 for a trip in 2 years or $50,000 for a house down payment in 5. Next, prioritize based on urgency and impact. Richards suggests starting with bucket number 1, $1,000 emergency fund, and a small bucket number 4 contribution, like $50 per month, to a 401k. Use your budget's golden number to allocate funds, and track progress monthly with apps like Mint or a simple spreadsheet. Richard's tip: write down your why. Maybe it's freedom from debt stress or a secure future, to stay motivated when temptation strikes. Let's revisit Amber, the 27-year-old cybersecurity architect from Money Honey. Buried under $64,000 in debt, $47,000 student loans, $12,000 credit card, $5,000 car loan, Amber felt directionless until Richard's goal-setting exercise. In 20 minutes, Amber listed her goals: $1,000 for bucket number 1, emergency fund. In 3 months, $11,574 for bucket number 2, 4.5 months expenses. In 2 years, $90,000 for bucket number 3, car, house, wedding, in 5 years, and consistent 401k contributions for bucket number 4. With her golden number at $1,292, after budgeting and side hustles, she prioritized $500 per month to hit her $1,000 emergency fund, $1,017 per month to clear her 20% credit card debt in a year, and $150 per month to her 401k. By year's end, Amber's net worth rose by $15,540, and her clear goals kept her focused, turning vague hopes into measurable wins. Richard's own journey shows goal setting's power. As a teen, she set a goal to graduate college debt-free, saving $30,000 from Cutco knife sales and scholarships. Later, her goal to build wealth drove her to invest early in index funds, growing her net worth steadily. She contrasts this with a client who lacked goals, spending aimlessly and saving nothing, missing out on compound interest magic. $5,000 at 7% could grow to $38,061 in 30 years. Richard's stat hits hard. 78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, often because they lack a plan. Why does this matter? Clear financial goals turn your money into a tool for the life you want, not a source of stress. Richard's tough love advice: no goals, no progress. Get specific or stay broke. Amber's debt payoff and Richard's debt-free degree prove that defined targets drive action. Today, take 20 minutes to list 3 goals, assign dollar amounts and deadlines, and allocate your golden number. As Richard says, set clear goals, and your money will start building your dreams. 10. Live below your means. To build wealth, it's essential to live within or below your means. Avoid lifestyle inflation, resisting the temptation to spend. Picture this: you get a raise, and suddenly you're eyeing a fancier car, a bigger apartment, or those designer sneakers you've been coveting. It's tempting to level up your lifestyle, but in Money Honey, a simple 7-step guide for getting your financial dollar hit together, Rachel Richards warns that this trap, lifestyle inflation, can keep you broke forever. Living below your means, the final piece of her financial wisdom, is about spending less than you earn, no matter how much you make, to supercharge your savings, investments, and debt payoff. We'll explore why living below your means is your wealth-building superpower, how to do it, and real-world examples from Money Honey that prove it works. So, grab a Capri Sun and let's embrace the frugal life. Richard starts with a stark reality. 78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, often because they spend every dollar they earn, or more, on wants disguised as needs. Living below your means isn't about deprivation. It's about prioritizing your golden number, the cash left after expenses, to fund your dreams, whether that's a debt-free life, a house, or early retirement. Richard's mantra is, pay yourself first, meaning you save and invest before spending on non-essentials. She cites a stat that hits hard. The average American saves only 3.7% of their income, while Richards herself saved 50% by keeping her lifestyle lean. The payoff? More money for her savings buckets and investments, growing her wealth exponentially. Her approach is practical and mindset-driven. Start with your budget. If your golden number is small, cut non-essential expenses, think daily takeout, and used subscriptions or impulse buys. Richards loves apps like Honey for coupons and Mint to track spending, ensuring you stay under budget. Next, resist lifestyle creep when your income rises. Instead of upgrading your car, funnel the extra cash into your 401k or index funds. She suggests small swaps. Cook at home instead of dining out, shop secondhand, or negotiate bills like cable or phone plans. The goal is to live on 50 to 70% of your income, saving or investing the rest. Richard's tip: automate savings to your emergency fund or investments so you're not tempted to spend it. Let's revisit Amber, the 27-year-old cybersecurity architect from Money Honey. Buried under $64,000 in debt, Amber initially spent $3,110 of her $3,500 monthly income, leaving a golden number of just $390. Her lifestyle: $580 on groceries and dining, $200 on shopping, $130 on grooming, was eating her income. Richard's advice to live below her means transformed Amber's finances. She cut dining to $400, shopping to $30, and grooming to $50, saving $538 monthly. Combined with $364 from side hustles, tutoring, and Airbnb, her golden number soared to $1,292. Amber allocated $1,017 to her 20% credit card debt, paying off $12,000 in a year, $500 to her emergency fund, and $150 to her 401k. By keeping her lifestyle lean, Amber's net worth jumped $15,540 in a year, proving frugality's power. Richard's own story is a masterclass in living below her means. As a teen, she sold Cutco knives to fund college debt-free, living frugally by renting a room and cooking meals. Even as her income grew as a financial advisor, she avoided lifestyle inflation, saving 50% of her income for investments. She contrasts this with a client who upgraded their car and home after every raise, saving nothing and missing out on $76,123 in 30 years from $10,000 invested at 7%. Richard's math shows the stakes. Cutting $100 monthly from dining out, invested at 7%, grows to $83,573 in 40 years. Why does this matter? Living below your means creates a financial buffer, letting you save, invest, and weather emergencies without stress. Richard's tough love advice: spend like you're broke, even when you're not. Amber's budget cuts and Richard's frugal habits show how this mindset builds wealth. Today, review your budget, cancel one unused subscription, or cook dinner instead of ordering out. As Richard says, live below your means, and you're not just surviving, you're thriving. More as you earn more, and prioritize saving and investing for your future. Money Honey encourages readers to take control of their finances by following a simple, step-by-step plan. By tracking spending, reducing debt, saving for emergencies, and investing wisely, you can build a strong financial foundation and work towards achieving your financial goals. Recap Money Honey Summary, a simple 7-step guide for getting your financial hit together by Rachel Richards. Introduction, a sassy guide to financial freedom. Imagine this. You're staring at your bank account, heart racing, wondering how you're going to make it to the next paycheck. Bills are piling up, student loans are looming, and the idea of saving for retirement feels like a cruel joke. If this sounds familiar, Rachel Richards' Money Honey is here to slap some sense into you. Lovingly, of course. With a blend of sass, humor, and no-nonsense advice, Richards delivers a financial wake-up call for anyone who's ever felt overwhelmed by money. This isn't your grandpa's dusty finance textbook. It's a fun, practical guide designed to help you take control of your finances, pay off debt, and build wealth, all while having a laugh or two. We'll dive deep into Richards' 7-step plan to get your financial dollar hit together, exploring her strategies for budgeting, saving, tackling debt, investing, and more. So, grab a coffee or a Capri Sun if you're under 21, and let's get started. Chapter 1. Hello, it's me. Rachel Richards introduces herself as your new financial BFF, a self-proclaimed money geek who's been obsessed with personal finance since she was 11, reading investment books at a water park while her peers splashed around. She graduated college debt-free, thanks to scholarships and a side hustle selling Cutco knives, and went on to become a licensed financial advisor, helping thousands get their finances in order. Richard's mission with Money Honey is clear: to make personal finance simple, engaging, and dare we say, fun. She argues that the education system fails us by not teaching practical money skills, leaving many adults, millennials, professionals, parents, clueless about budgeting, saving, or investing. The book is for anyone who wants to stop living paycheck to paycheck, whether you're a broke college student, a young professional, or a parent saving for your kid's future. Richards promises that by following her 7-step plan, you'll gain control of your finances and transform your life. It's tough love with a pinky promise. You're about to have fun while getting rich. Chapter 2. Badass Budgeting. Let's talk budgeting, because, as Richards says, it's the foundation of financial success, and 2/3 of Americans are doing it wrong. Budgeting isn't sexy, but it's non-negotiable. Richards starts with a simple exercise. Grab a pen, paper, and maybe a beer or Capri Sun, and write down your after-tax monthly income. Then list every single expense: rent, utilities, groceries, Netflix, that daily $5 latte. Subtract expenses from income to find your golden number, the money left over each month. This number is your ticket to financial freedom, but for many, it's depressingly small or even negative. Richard's solution? Increase your income and decrease your expenses. She's blunt. 10% savings won't cut it. Aim to save as much as possible, ideally 50% of your income, like she did. To boost income, Richard suggests asking for a raise, picking up a side hustle, like tutoring or selling on Etsy, or even driving for Uber. To cut expenses, she recommends negotiating bills, eating out less, or, gasp, canceling that unused gym membership. Apps like Mint for tracking spending, Honey for finding coupons, and Acorn for investing spare change are your new best friends. Richard's tough love moment hits hard. Budgeting isn't hard compared to real struggles like illness or loss. So, put on your big girl pants, track your spending for a month, and create a budget that maximizes your golden number. It's the first step to financial badassery. Chapter 3. Savings, another day, another dollar. Saving money is where the magic happens, thanks to the power of compound interest. Richards explains that $10,000 invested at 5% interest can grow to over $44,000 in 30 years without lifting a finger. Yet, she's horrified that 19% of Americans have zero emergency savings, and the average under 35-year-old has just $1,580 saved. To fix this, Richards introduces 4 savings buckets based on when you'll need the money. Bucket number 1. Emergency savings, at least $1,000 for unexpected expenses like car repairs. Keep it accessible in a checking account or high-yield savings account. Bucket number 2. Medium-term savings, enough for 3 to 6 months of living expenses, calculated as 4.5 times your monthly expenses, or short-term goals like a vacation. Store it in a high-yield savings account for better interest. Bucket number 3. Long-term savings, for goals more than a year away, like a wedding or house down payment. Invest this in the stock market for higher returns. Bucket number 4. Retirement savings, for your golden years, locked away in an IRA or 401k. Start contributing now, even if it's just $50 a month, to avoid penalties for early withdrawal. Richard's strategy is to prioritize bucket number 1 first, then contribute to bucket number 4 regularly, while filling buckets number 2 and number 3. She emphasizes high-yield savings accounts, like Ally or Barclays, for buckets number 1 and number 2 to maximize interest. Tracking your net worth monthly, assets minus liabilities, keeps you motivated. Richard's mantra: increase assets, reduce liabilities, and watch your wealth grow. Chapter 4. There is no good debt, only tolerable debt. Debt is the villain in Richard's financial story, and she's adamant there's no such thing as good debt, only tolerable debt, like a mortgage for an appreciating asset, and bad debt, like credit card or car loans. With Americans holding over $999 billion in credit card debt and $50,000 in average student loan debt, it's a crisis. Richard's rule: compare the debt's interest rate to the asset's appreciation rate. A mortgage at 4% on a house appreciating at 5% is tolerable. A 20% credit card for a depreciating handbag is not. Chapter 5 to 8. Tackling debt. Richards dedicates several chapters to debt, covering credit scores, student loans, credit cards, and more. Your credit score, likened to a financial GPA, determines loan eligibility and interest rates. To boost it, pay bills on time, keep credit utilization low, and avoid closing old accounts. For student loans, Richards suggests consolidation to lower interest rates and paying more than the minimum to reduce total interest paid. Credit cards can be friends if paid off monthly, but foes if you carry a balance at 20% plus interest. She advises tackling high-interest debt first, using strategies like debt consolidation loans or balance transfers to 0% interest cards. Chapters 9 to 13. Investing like a boss. Investing is Richard's favorite topic, and she demystifies it for newbies. Stocks represent ownership in a company, bonds are loans to entities, mutual funds pool money for diversified investments, and index funds track market indices for low fees. Richards champions index funds as the MVP for millennials due to their low costs and market-matching returns. Her 4 golden rules for investing: start early, Diversify, keep costs low, and stay consistent. She walks readers through opening a brokerage account, making a trade, and avoiding common pitfalls like market timing. Richards emphasizes that investing isn't gambling. It's a long-term strategy to grow wealth. Chapter 14. Retirement, a new definition. Retirement might seem far off, but Richards insists you start saving now. A 401k with an employer match is free money. Max it out. IRAs offer tax advantages, and Richards advises contributing at least enough to get the match, even if it's $50 a month. Early savings leverage compound interest, making a huge difference over decades. She warns against early withdrawals due to taxes and penalties, urging readers to treat retirement accounts like a jail cell for your money until you're 59 and a half. Chapter 15 to 16. Taxes and Insurance. Taxes don't have to be taxing, says Richards. She advises understanding your tax bracket and deductions to avoid overpaying. Tax refunds aren't a bonus. They're your money you lent the government interest-free. On insurance, Richards stresses the importance of long-term disability insurance alongside life insurance, as it protects your income if you can't work. Being insured is about peace of mind, not just checking a box. Chapter 17 to 18. The Money Honey Plan. The heart of Money Honey is the 7-step plan brought to life through Amber, a 27-year-old cybersecurity architect. Here's how it works. 1. Know your current story. 1 hour compile your income, expenses, assets, and liabilities to calculate your golden number and net worth. Amber's golden number is $390, and her net worth is negative $49,274 due to $47,000 in student loans, $12,000 in credit card debt, and a $5,000 car loan. 2. Brainstorm your financial goals. 20 minutes list savings goals for buckets #1-4 and debt payoff. Amber aims for $1,000 in bucket number 1, $11,574 in bucket number 2, 4.5 months expenses, $90,000 in bucket number 3, car, house, wedding, and ongoing retirement savings. 3. Grow your golden number. 45 minutes increase income. Amber adds $364 via Airbnb and tutoring. And cut expenses. She reduces spending by $538, boosting her golden number to $1,292. 4. Fill up bucket number 1. 1 to 3 months Amber saves $500 to reach $1,000 for emergencies. 5. Determine your minimum contribution to bucket number 4. 10 minutes Amber contributes $150 monthly to her 401k to get the employer match. 6. Prioritize and achieve your goals. Varies Amber allocates $150 to bucket number 4, $125 to bucket number 2, and $1,017 to her 20% credit card debt, paying it off in a year. 7. Complete an annual review. 2 hours per year Amber reassesses her budget, goals, and net worth, which improves by $15,540 in 1 year. Amber's story shows the plan's power. With discipline, she pays off credit card debt, builds savings, and dreams of a debt-free future. Chapter 19. Get started now. Richards urges immediate action. Steps 1 to 3 can be done in an afternoon, setting the stage for financial freedom. Expect roadblocks, emergency expenses, or overspending, but don't get discouraged. Write down your why, e.g., financial independence, travel. Share goals with friends for accountability, and find a buddy to check in weekly. Reward yourself with small treats like a book or a walk in the park. Start now, even with 15 minutes, to quadruple your success odds. Chapter 20. Dear Rachel Advice Column. Richards wraps up with reader Q&A, offering practical advice. For someone with 0% interest credit card debt, she suggests balancing debt payoff with 401k contributions. On house buying, she advises focusing on monthly payment comfort, not maxing out your budget. Her best tip? Live below your means and pay yourself first. The column reinforces her approachable, no BS style. Conclusion: why Money Honey matters. Money Honey is a breath of fresh air in the often dry world of personal finance. Rachel Richards combines humor, relatability, and expertise to make financial literacy accessible to everyone, from broke students to high-earning professionals. Her 7-step plan is a clear, actionable roadmap that demystifies budgeting, saving, debt repayment, and investing. By emphasizing the golden number, savings buckets, and prioritizing high-interest debt, Richards empowers readers to take control without feeling overwhelmed. The book's strength lies in its practicality. Tools like Mint, real-world examples like Amber, and free worksheets make the advice immediately applicable. Richards' tough love tone, peppered with pop culture references and acronyms like TLDR, keeps you engaged, while her personal story of graduating debt-free adds credibility. However, the book isn't perfect. Some readers might crave deeper dives into complex topics like taxes or advanced investing, and the millennial slang might not resonate with all. Still, Money Honey excels at its goal, providing a fun, beginner-friendly guide to financial freedom. Whether you're drowning in debt or just want to save more, this book will leave you motivated, equipped, and maybe even laughing. So, take Richard's advice, start today, commit to your why, and get ready to kick some financial ass. Your future self will thank you.